People don't realize when you buy a natural diamond, you're helping so many countries in Africa, so many countries in India. Every natural diamond, 99.9% of them, or 99% of them, are ethical.
Hi everyone, welcome into Heard on the Street. This is an amazing show where we get the input of industry experts about what's really happening in the industry. This episode is presented by Rapaport and Shop LC. My name is Cheryl Els, I'll be your host. So today we have three topics that we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about industry recovery, gold's impact, and we're also going to be talking about De Beers pricing. Before we get into the questions, I would like to introduce you to our host of industry experts. So I'm going to start with Sanil Lakhani.
I'm Sanil Lakhani. I'm the president of Kiran Gems USA Inc. We are the world's largest natural diamond manufacturers, and I represent the US division of the company. We have been there since 40 years, and that's who we are.
We also have Ari Jain.
I'm Ari from House of Diamonds. We specialize in the finest quality diamonds, specializing in fancy shapes and rounds, natural diamonds, and very happy to be here and share our insight from over 8 generations.
We have Olivia Landau. Olivia is the CEO of The Clear Cut. Olivia, we're glad you're here.
Thanks for having me.
Would you mind sharing a little bit about your start in the industry?
Sure, I'm actually 4th generation diamantaire and a GI graduate gemologist. I started my journey in the industry through social media. Basically, I started The Clear Cut as a blog in 2016 to help my friends know about the 4 C's, the do's and the don'ts before working to pick out an engagement ring. And through Instagram and educational content, it grew to the largest digitally native natural diamond fine jewelry business.
Wow,
yeah.
Wonderful. And then we have Jeff Angel, who is a buyer of RDI.
I'm Jeff from RDI Diamonds. We're the largest wholesaler in America. For the last 34 years, we're known as honestly the only true American company that's been doing this for over 30 years.
Wow.
And I think we have a great reach from coast to coast.
Well, as you can see, we have some amazing experts that are joining us today. So I'm going to open up the floor right now to everybody and just feel free to jump in. But really, in the last 30 days, there's been a lot going on in the industry. What is lacking? What is lacking in the market right now?
So firstly, let's get to the reason for that. The reason is that so many mines are closing. It's not being covered in the media enough. A lot of mines are running at deep losses. They're foreclosing. And a lot of the nicer quality diamonds that people really want that are in trend, they're just not there. Plus, we have this hurdle of tariffs. Impossible to get goods, especially in the US. It is so hard. And I feel like personally, natural diamonds have not been rarer than ever before because I want to get something from India. I can only get it if my customer confirms it. So US inventory, it's at an all-time premium right now because there's such little goods here. Yeah.
Well, I think it's not little goods. You just can't bring everything overnight.
Yeah.
On the demand side, it did make the value of local inventory much greater. So we received a little bit of a boost in demand because all of the overseas inventory was not able to be brought into the US, at least not immediately.
Yeah.
So those of us that carried an inventory locally, which is our entire business model, is to have a local source inventory, got a little bit of a demand benefit.
And on top of it, let's say a consumer walks into a retail store. Now somebody, some wife or daughter, she's so excited to have a particular bracelet or particular diamond. They want it right away. It's like buying a car. I need a car today. I cannot wait for a week or so.
They want to see it. They can't buy it off the video.
No, and time kills all deals.
All the excitement. Yeah.
Once they leave, it's hard to get them back.
And especially with like so much competition, misinformation, and confusion in the market now, it's, if you show a beautiful elongated antique cushion cut natural, but you can't get that specific one, someone can cut a lab one tomorrow and they're like, oh, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not really.
It's
not
the
really.
opposite.
No.
No,
It's
but
the
that's
opposite.
what
It's
a
not-
lot of retailers
they
are telling
are
clients.
lying.
I have a question about that. So you're saying that a lot of retailers are not being honest with consumers about the difference between lab grown
I wouldn't say that word, honest
No,
with
no, no,
consumers.
they-
I disagree with that.
Okay,
I think
tell me.
their job is to sell.
Yeah.
And if they can't get let's say the antique cushion that you're talking about, they have a store, they want to make a living. So they'll say, I can get you this. I don't think it's misinformation, it's the best available.
I think there is a lot of misinformation. There might be some people that are not lying or misleading customers, but there definitely are. To sell something that's worth $100 for $10,000 is misleading a customer.
I think that's terrible too, but then you can start saying with Signet. Signet sells a pair of lab earrings for how much? 1,800, 2-carat total weights? So they're the largest in the industry, so that's where it starts.
Well, I think consumers are like told that natural diamonds aren't rare and there's an abundant supply, but I think people don't realize that like gem quality natural diamonds are extremely rare, and that synthetics at the end of the day are going to be the thing that replaces the industrial goods.
Yeah.
When you are talking to customers and consumers, are you finding through education that they're like, yes, I'm all in on a natural diamond?
No, so there are many consumers who just comes into a store with a budget. They don't know what to buy. They have a fixed budget of $5,000, $10,000. Now it depends on the retailer what he wants to pitch to the customer. Now, because the lab margins are heavy, because they can find $100 thing and sell for 10,000, they want to push that.
Yeah.
But soon the consumer will realize that this was all nonsense. I was paying a hefty amount for something which doesn't cost anything.
Right.
And on top of it, because of that, natural diamonds have come down to a price where it's not so expensive like it was before.
But it was a good entry, I think, for certain people in the industry, right, when they started, because the lab grown introduced it to a lot of people that maybe weren't used to diamonds, but they're not the same, like you said.
Well, I think the natural diamond industry has a lot of work to do and a lot of catching up on re-educating the consumer, because the natural diamond industry stayed silent for a little bit while the lab-grown industry had extensive marketing and misinformation or information to kind of educate this new generation, and we kind of didn't. If you look at my TikTok comments, everyone's saying like, oh, these are blood diamonds, children are dying for these, like I don't, and that's just further from the truth.
So let me fix that misconception.
Yeah.
Natural diamonds do so much good. In fact, Botswana is struggling a lot because 90% of their economy, Botswana is a major country in Africa, 90% of their company was powered on natural diamonds. Because of lab-grown industry misinformation, people have not bought natural diamonds as much, and the people of Botswana are suffering. There's huge layoffs in Botswana, huge layoffs in the Indian diamond industry. It's really painful to see.
Well, so you're actually helping children in Africa by buying a natural diamond.
Can you tell them how many people
Blood
have been
diamonds you're
laid
talking
off in
about?
Suru?
No, that hasn't been a thing for 30 years.
Thousands and thousands of people have been laid off because of this shift happening, which is actually, a huge difference between products.
Let's be serious. Lab-grown diamond people are way better at marketing than natural diamond people.
Well,
'Cause
De
their
Beers doesn't
product is
market
cheap.
anymore. De Beers used to do those marketing, diamond is forever.
Well, it's an easy sell. You say, oh, this is more ethical, it's more sustainable, and it's cheaper, and it's the exact same thing, and you can't tell them apart. Wow, amazing. But those are like further from the truth. So I think our industry really needs to do a better job of kind of just differentiating the products. Where is the origin? What does it come from? What are the positive impacts natural diamonds have? And yeah, you can tell them apart in 1 second.
And by the way, lab grown, like you were talking about, the amount of electricity it takes and what it does to the
Terrible
environment,
for the
it's
environment.
terrible. I don't know why they kept on pushing
But
it.
we're just saying that to ourselves, and we need to.
It's because our product, let me explain to consumers why we're bad at marketing. Our product is so rare and expensive. No one realizes it. It's super expensive, right? And if we can't get it at a good price, like how are the consumers going to get it? Since it's so expensive, we can't spend that much money on marketing. Since lab-grown diamonds products, their products are,
Nothing.
some products $25 per 1 carat. So that's like about this big, 1 carat for consumers, $25 for that wholesale. Because of that, they have all of the money in the world to spend on marketing. We don't have money.
Because there's no
to
real
spend.
expenses to manufacture.
But when we do market, I think a lot of the industry is like, I don't want to talk about the difference. I just want to talk about natural diamond desirability. There's no lack of natural diamond desirability, which is the only reason why lab growns even exist, because they're so desirable.
Right.
We need to talk about differentiation of the product so the consumer is educated and can make
And then in all this, hustle bustle, the whole sentimental value has disappeared. Now imagining me gifting a ring to my daughter passing it to her daughter, Do you think lab grown will carry the same heritage or the value?
Terrible.
Of course not. It's the natural diamonds that will keep up the emotions.
It's the lab diamonds versus the natural diamonds. By myself, I'm an OG. I believe in natural. Natural is where the value is. I know the young kids today, they want big diamonds, not a lot of money. It works, it's good. It's not in my realm, in my head. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But I go with it because I have to. When people ask me for it, I have to present it. Having said that, there are a lot of people that are still buying naturals because here's the deal. If the marriages don't work out and they need to sell the diamonds, you're not getting your money out of the lab diamond, period, the end.
Yeah.
I don't care what it says. You buy a natural diamond, you're paying a price for it, but you're still going to get physical money out of that diamond because it's not a mass-produced item.
So let me ask you this question, because you all are bringing up a really, really good topic here. You have individual information, you do, everybody does. What do you think that the industry coming together, how could the industry really promote natural diamonds? We're talking about it a little
starts
bit.
top down. If De Beers did it to begin with, and then other luxury retailers would push it more. Like nobody talks about it anymore.
But I think everyone relies on De Beers too much to do the marketing and to save the industry. Like, they're not going to do it anymore. Like, everyone is responsible for their piece of the pie, and this is, the industry we're in, and we're responsible for educating consumers and telling the story. And now it's easier than ever with social media. You can get messages out in a second with an iPhone. So.
Yeah. But now also in the industry, Luana Accord, with Natural Diamond Council, they are putting up miners, government, everybody, that every sale of the rough, 1% of that amount should go towards natural diamond marketing. I think that will be the thing next 5 years we will see.
It's been so delayed.
Yeah, it's been forever. They've been
So
talking
delayed.
about it for years.
Yeah, but at least there is something going on. Somebody's talking about the marketing, right? De
But
Beers.
the messaging of the marketing has to be correct too.
Yeah.
The miners version isn't. You need it to reach to the people.
Okay, so what would the messaging be?
Honestly, it's not. I wouldn't call it marketing. We just have to educate consumers.
Yes.
This is the wholesale cost of lab-grown diamonds. Once I've told that to 10 consumers, all 10 of them, they did not buy lab-grown diamonds. Because if you know the wholesale cost, you're not. Why would you buy something so cheap for such a romantic, everlasting purchase? Like when you're trying to put something on your wife's hand, you want something that's timeless, formed over billions of years, valuable.
The whole industry has to come together. There should be some fund that everybody has to contribute. One entity, let's say De Beers or retailers.
It's a fragmented market. It's hard.
Nobody is going to do it. We have to come together as an
I mean,
industry.
we push it a lot. I mean, we're pretty good at the space, but we push. And we have a lot of retailers who won't even touch lab, by the way.
Yeah.
And the better retailers do not touch lab.
Do not touch it.
Well, because it's really difficult. I think once you start selling them side by side, you don't go to an Hermes and say, here's a real Birkin and here's the dupe. Which one do you want to buy?
If you buy natural diamonds from a reasonable retailer with a reasonable margin, they can go up in value. Let's talk about that. 5 carat plus diamonds, 3 carat plus diamonds, they hold their value. They are an investment. If your kids ever need the money, if you ever need the money, you can sell it for tens of thousands of dollars. It is a great store of value, and it's something you can wear every day. You love
You
it.
can pass down.
For example, this is my grandpa's. This is my grandpa's ring. I'm still wearing it. And it's very sentimental to me because it's my grandpa's. It's natural diamonds. It's rare. He wore it. If he had a lab-grown diamond ring, I don't know if it would be passed down. I don't think he would give it to me.
They'd melt it.
Yeah,
Gold prices today.
Yeah.
exactly.
All right, we're going to go ahead and move on, but I do want to say that this episode has been sponsored by IGI, strengthening global trust in gemstone certification. All right, now we're going to talk about gold prices and what's happening in the industry. This segment is brought to you by Brightco. They are your modern jewelry insurance provider. All right, let's open up the table and talk about gold and the prices of gold and how that's affected everybody in the industry.
Well, gold doubled in the past 2-3 years, which shows that, a lot of this jewelry that uses gold is a great investment. But it's recently dipped. I think it's at around 4,600 now. This is good for a lot of jewelry manufacturers because they can make jewelry at a better price and pass on those savings to their customers. But that being said, for high-end natural diamond jewelry, gold is the smallest component, right? So it hasn't impacted us that much, but It's the only product, only metal people really want to use. People have tried other ones, but gold is the best it gets.
I think for us, because we manufacture like fine jewelry collection, it has been kind of challenging to keep like competitive pricing or pricing that consumers expect, because we have to keep up with the price of gold. So trying to find creative ways, I think people are getting around like having things less solid, hollowing things out. I've seen other retailers, which I wouldn't go as far to do, go into more plating instead of solid gold, which I think that's like not fine jewelry at that point, but I think it is like challenging if you're producing your own pieces to.
So are you noticing, if you explain to the customer what's happening with the gold prices, that will influence their decision if they are going to purchase thicker gold or not? Not in bridal jewelry, but in other.
Since decades, gold has been, the metal, to go for. Even if it's fluctuating, I would say, everyone would say you should still invest in gold, because that's something which has held value since all these years. Next 20 years, I feel it will still keep going up, because that's the ultimate,
And I think actually prices going up in gold reinforces like people's confidence in
yeah.
Value.
And as a jewelry as a whole, that okay, if I'm investing in a jewelry, the gold price at least is going up. So I'm not losing, when I went to resell it, I'm not losing the whole part. At least something is going up.
Well, again, this part was sponsored by Brightco. Brightco is your modern jewelry insurance provider. All right, now we're going to talk about De Beers and what's happening in the market there. This segment is brought to you by JBT Jewelers Board of Trade, protecting your assets for 142 years. Oh yeah, we went there. All right, so let's open it up right now to De Beers and how that is affecting the industry.
So De Beers' first move in recent years that's helped a lot is they've increased the prices of larger rough diamonds. So that basically anything in 2 carat and above polished diamonds, they've increased the price for. And then we've gotten comments from site holders saying they just want everything they have in 2 carat plus. Because 2 carat plus is extremely rare right now, and De Beers is the market leader. So when they make a change, it really means a lot. Everyone follows them, and it's a very optimistic sign for the industry.
Yep. De Beers, they are thriving to come back. There have been some rough years. In fact, we are now at 100 million carats of production capacity worldwide for natural diamonds, which is nearly when it was in the 90s. So imagine the production control we have right now on the market, which if the demand increases, we can, of course, go back to where natural was thriving.
Yeah,
I want to talk about De Beers has done amazing things for the continent of Africa.
Yes.
They have completely developed Botswana. It's a completely developed country. They've helped a lot in South Africa. Angola is being completely powered by them. So they're a really great ethical company. They're helping, they give back a lot. So the consumer has to kind of forget what they hear about De Beers, and it's not right. A lot of the misinformation you guys are hearing is by the lab-grown industry. Do not believe it. Look up De Beers initiatives. There's actual proof they spent hundreds of millions of dollars on giving back. Look up the Kimberley process. Every natural diamond, 99.9% of them, or 99% of them, are ethical.
You can't even find a blood diamond.
You
Go
can't.
find one.
I mean, they
There's
also
none.
It doesn't
help
exist.
Tracer, which is like an incredible technology that we work
Yeah.
with that actually shows proof of where the diamond comes from. The rough, when people say, oh, you don't know where it comes from, it's a blood diamond, there's like actual like technological proof.
You know the cutter. In certain mines now, they tell you the cutter who
Cutter,
does
yeah.
it. They tell you about their
Picture on
family.
their
Yeah,
Story, yeah.
On Tracer, they showed the picture of the guy.
exactly. You're helping people.
And if you go to
Believe it.
Botswana and you go to the mines and you go to the manufacturing facilities, it's really impactful, and it made a big impact on me, and the reason why we're so hardcore about only natural, because you see it firsthand and the positive impacts that it
Yeah.
has.
And not to forget their branding, marketing, Diamond is Forever.
That's
That
still.
was
I
amazing.
grew
It's
up on
still
that. I'm a little older
amazing,
than you guys,
All the
but
TV ads going on, that was really
Nothing will
amazing.
ever replace the aura of natural diamonds. You can never wear anything as valuable as a natural diamond, and you'll never hold anything as valuable as a natural diamond. Because some of these natural diamonds, especially in the rare DIF categories, the rare fancy color categories, you can't find them. They're worth millions of dollars.
Go find a red or a blue
You
3
can't.
carat. Doesn't exist. Like go, maybe there's one in the world.
The people who have it don't want to sell it. There's a lot of people, they don't want to sell it. They want it forever, you know?
Well, let's talk a moment about site holders. Will you explain to maybe consumers that don't know what a site holder is, what they are, and how that has affected De Beers, in your opinion?
I'll take that point.
Since he's a site holder.
So site holder is a De Beers site holder company, which means that that particular company gets the first preference to get the roughs out of whatever is coming from De Beers. They are only, constrained to whoever is a site holder. These people will only get the De Beers roughs. So they have this exclusivity. The site holders companies are alone. They are not a small entity which is just roaming around on the street. They have the best principles. They have all the certifications. They are a big entity that follows the protocols according to De Beers, the KYC process. It's a lengthy, complex process. That's when you qualify to be a site holder. So that's a big thing, and that's everyone wants to achieve who is a diamond manufacturer.
And you can't even be like when you're one for a long time, because you can't just like all of a sudden it took so long to become one.
There,
right?
yeah. There's
Some people are happy about being a site holder, some people aren't. Because when you're a site holder, De Beers tells you what rough you're getting. If you buy your rough yourself, like us, we can pick and choose what types of items we want. So we've started specializing in 2 carat plus, and that market has been doing amazingly. So there's pros and cons. A lot of people who buy rough on the secondhand market, they're doing good, because right now in a interesting market, you need to be picky on what you buy and give to your customers. You need to give them the best, because that's what they're looking for now. You can buy really high quality natural diamonds for much cheaper than you could before. So now is the time to buy.
It's like there's glass between us, crystal on the table, but we don't hear a sound. Dripping in the diamonds, touching velvet walls, yeah, we're so dressed down. There's glass between us, it hurts.
All right. Well, this segment again has been sponsored by JBT, Jewelers Board of Trade, protecting your assets for over 142 years. Yes, we said it. All right. Our last bit here, we're going to do rapid fire. And I'm going to ask if you can answer in 1 or 2 sentences about tariffs and how they've affected you. I'm going to start and we'll go around the table. So 1 or 2 sentences, tariffs, how they've affected you.
I think it's been a positive thing for the most part for the industry, at least as an American company. I think it helped balance stuff a little bit. As we talked earlier, you can't just bring everything overnight, so people tend to buy from people here in America. So for us, it's been positive. That's it. That's the best way I put it. I think it's a good thing.
So I would disagree a little bit on that, because when you come to the Indian market, every diamond out of 10 diamonds, 8 are coming from India today. Exports from India to the US dropped down to 60% because of the tariffs. There are plenty of people who lost their jobs, who are cutting diamonds, who couldn't export. Companies couldn't keep up with the manufacturing facilities because there is none to ship. 50% was too much back then. So I feel tariffs are better for the American companies, but being an Indian manufacturer, it also hurted the industry a lot, because the exports didn't go out, as they were before. 50% drop is too much.
Because of tariffs, I felt that natural diamonds are rarer than ever before, because very few percentage of the world's diamonds are in the US. We can only use those and show them to customers. Everyone wants to see their diamond before they purchase it. No one is buying it online in their right minds.
90% of my customers buy it completely online. So.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay, almost everybody.
But we built a
depends.
very amazing software technology that helps us. So.
So for you,
your website. It's very nice.
Oh, it's our gem platform.
Wow.
Very good.
Anyway, it's basically like what we do is like trying to take the spirit and democratize that private jewelry experience. Everyone's matched up with a gemologist, but a lot of people don't have access to come to New York to sit in person. Sure. So we built like a platform that can help bridge that gap.
Maybe that would also depend on the age group who is buying. Maybe she has some younger age group who are used to the virtual world. What we are seeing at the retail level, people who wants to experience, who wants to touch and feel.
If I'm even buying something above $500, I need to go see it in person. I just need to go.
Well, I think we're spoiled because we're like in New York and we can get anything in like a second at our fingertips. But like a lot of times, if you don't have access to that easily, then.
Well, that's why they use companies like ours. Like if you're in Oklahoma or you're in Minneapolis somewhere somewhere else, they'll call us and we'll ship them 2 stones to show somebody right away. So they feel like they have a bigger inventory. It's a good thing. That's what we do.
So, Olivia, give us your take on tariffs. Has it helped or hurt?
I think it's more negative in general. I think it's created a lot of disruption in an already disrupted industry. I think a lot of companies have had to kind of overnight set up new ways of getting diamonds here, and overnight things just are changing and people are really, it's created disruption. It's created a lack of flow of inventory, gaps in inventory, and prices are a little bit more expensive. So I think I don't love it, but we do manufacture all of our fine jewelry in New York, so that has been a positive on that end.
That's good.
Well, this segment has been brought to you by SimStar. Discover unparalleled brilliance in the finest natural diamonds, meticulously sourced and crafted for timeless elegance. I really want to thank everybody on the panel for joining me today. It was great hearing from all of you. And we invite you to like and share this video. And again, follow us. I would also ask that if there's anything that you want to hear from industry experts, put it in the comments and we can address that in our next show. So thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
There's not a man that I fear. There's nobody here that can stop me. Cause I'm in a league of my own, kid. Y'all can just sit back and watch me. They know who I am, they can't imitate. Don't stay in your lane, I'ma set it straight. I'm putting my way to the top. You get in my way, you know that I'ma renovate. You know I'm about to lock it. All my monster they was looking for just like the Loch Ness. They think they gon' knock me off the throne, they better stop it. They can never reach me where I'm at, I'm in a rocket cockpit. In other words, you can't touch me. It's like I got the ball and it's rugby. And you won't see me when I'm coming through. You can't stop me, I'm running through. I'm untouchable, yeah, I'm untouchable, yeah, I'm untouchable, yeah.